I grew up collecting Lego starting in about 2003, where I really dove headfirst into it in about 2005. This was one of those sets that I got Christmas of 2005. And this set off, this is only half the set, but this set off really what would be an obsession. This dove me headfirst into collecting so many sets. Now I've got a couple sets that year. I got that Christmas, the Boga set, and then the Tri-Fighter as well. All great sets from 2005. And 2005 really kicked off. Now this is a time where there wasn't play features. Lego didn't tell you how to play with your Lego by adding in tons of play features, right? Very few stickers, mostly printed pieces. This is a great time to be a collector. Now, I'm making this video because I want to know, how do you play with your Lego? So feel free to answer right down in the comments. While you're there, drop a like. Because I'm really telling the story of how I grew up and how I grew up with Lego and what it means to me and how I play with Lego. Because this title is, how do I play with Lego, right? I'm not afraid to admit it, I'm 31 years old, and guess what? I still play with my Lego, right? But there's not very many. I talk to a lot of A-falls, a lot of T-falls, some kid-falls, right? We're all fans of Lego, right? And we all experience Lego differently. And there's no shame in that you just like to sit on a shelf. There's some people that come and only Lego collections and will not open it because of resale values or whatever. And that's fine too, right? There's no wrong way to collect Lego. There's no wrong way to play with Lego. But it's asking the question and me storytelling, or telling you how I do it. How I did it and how I do it, how it's changed, right? Because as a kid, like, I imagine some of you, your Legos had epic battles, right? You had your fighters going at it, dogfight style, right? This set came with a Vulture Droid. Did I have lots of hours playing this against that Vulture Droid? This durable and Starfighter going against that Vulture Droid? Oh, I had lots of Vulture Droids. Did those Vulture Droids have different... They were very cool. I wish I had one built today. And then there's times when I didn't have money, right? But I wanted the gunship, like this gunship here. Tri-Fighter cockpits, right? So I used the parts of my collection to build this guy. And it's been ever growing, slowly getting replaced over time. Now this 2025, which I just made a review on, which you can check out at the end of this video, that I just picked up as my first ARC 170 because I missed out on the other two. And this would be so much fun, and at 25. But my point of talking to all these people, right? Everyone plays with their Lego differently. Now I know a lot of people that will either skateboard, scooter around with a Lego to test out swooshability, will sit down after building, they'll swoosh their ships around, fire off the spring loader shooters maybe, and then put it on the shelf and never touch it again until they get their next Lego set. I'm like, oh, I forgot about this set. That's not me though, that's not my story. My story is, growing up 2005, probably 2009 YouTube came on scene, right? YouTube got really big, and the big thing around 2009, 2010, 2011 even, clone bases, right? You might, if you grew up watching Solid Brick Studios or David Hall as he was known back then, or Lego Boy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? So he had this clone base, you would rate your clone base, whatever. Now I didn't submit mine for any of that. I didn't think that they were that great, because they were very open, right? I had 4 gray base plates, the large ones, extra large base plates, put together with a bunch of walls around and rooms in the middle, very open floor so I could move my figures around, and I'd play with them. I would move my figures around, there would be droid battles, actually. This gunship has been around since 2008. I built it based off the instructions and pictures off the Lego magazines, and this would carry my Rex, my clones, my Phase 1, Phase 2 clones into the clone base as reinforcements, and we'd battle it out. Or I would battle out. Now I didn't have my friends over to do that, and I always had either a castle or a clone base. Now, because I'm also really big into castle, but I love Lord of the Rings, fantasy, all that. But Star Wars has always been there. 26 years Lego's had it. Now I didn't get my first Millennium Falcon until 2017. Now this is my second one, that being the newer one. But I loved, even in my 20s, I loved opening down the drawbridge and having Han and Chewie and everyone fight off some stormtroopers, run off for an escape. That is, I love, one of the things that I love about the Millennium Falcon design that Lego has been able to achieve, and no other ship has been able to do this for me, is how open it is. And you can move, and it might be empty and not super detailed, but you can move and recreate scenes inside your Millennium Falcon. You can create new scenes. Like, are there times that the trilogies combine? Does my Captain Wolf, Rex, Gregor, Commander Grievin, Cody. Do they end up inside my Millennium Falcon, piloted by Han Solo? Absolutely. And this new ship right here, which is the Skeleton Crew Onyx Cinder. And one of the things that I am having a hard time with is there's not a lot of room to play around with a Millennium Falcon. Now even the Razor Crest allows some open ability. It's still cramped for the larger hands, but it still allows for that playability in there. This is super detailed. Looks very accurate to the, other than the fact that it doesn't split apart. Pretty accurate, right? And I'll be doing a full review coming up. It will be my next video, so you want to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that video. But one of the things that I am struggling to love about this ship is just how little open space there is. Not including an SM-33, and there not really being room for an SM-33. You can't really open this up. There's a front drawbridge where you can run your figures inside, but you can't really remove and play inside. And so that's one of the things that I'm not able to do with like a set like that. I love the cost, I love the size of it, but with that being said, now, still at 30, I love to play with my Legos like I did as a kid. It's not always the option. I don't have the space. I'd love to always have a clone base or a castle up. That doesn't happen anymore. I have so much Lego and not the space to set up a table and create a mini city. And basically my clone base was many adults' cities. And I moved my figures around, I redisplayed them, I had battles going on. There was always a battle going on. The clone doors would be blown up, whatever. And I'll use some examples here. But now at 30, I do wish I would play with my Lego exactly how I did as a kid if I had the time and the space. And unfortunately, that is just not my reality. But here's my point of saying, because there's a whole reason. I think as we grow up, right? And this is something I've discussed with a therapist as well. I'm proud to admit that I go to therapy. I have admitted to saying, as we grow up, there's a social aspect that we get afraid to play with our Lego, especially in front of other people. Now that was my experience, right? As I grew up, it was put on me. It was something that I put on myself, where I became awkward about and afraid to really play with my Lego in front of other people. When I'm making my sound effects making sound effects, and there's blast going on, and I'm having dog fights, and my characters are talking. I'm talking out loud, not in my head. It's out loud. People can hear me, and if someone's around that can hear me, I get afraid to actually just let go of everything and just play. And that's something that I think that we need to do. An adult life is stress. There's always, when you buy a house or renting, there's bills to pay, right? There's responsibilities that you now have to take care of, whether that's shoveling or mowing a lawn, shoveling a driveway, right? Making sure everything stays clean. You gotta cook for yourself now. You don't have these other people taking care of those responsibilities. That's on you to take care of those responsibilities. And taking the 20 minutes to just sit with your Lego and act out a little lore story for a couple minutes. Just sit and forget about the troubles of the world, right? And just play with your Lego. That's why I ask you, how do you play with your Lego? Answer right down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. And I got another video like this review right over here.